Alrighty, howdy doody everybody. I need a new intro. Okay, so I've only got one thing to speak about today. I don't know how much space I have on my phone, so I'll try to keep this one relatively short so I don't get cut off again. So anyway, the thing I want to talk about was being able to go to war at any moment. You know, I don't mean literally war like World War II or like the Civil War. I mean war with just like a task, you know, like going to war against or going to war with like your math homework, or going to war with organizing your bookshelf or something. Whatever that task might be, I think that it's important and kind of a cool idea to learn how to be willing to go to war with that thing, and basically what that means to me is just that you finish it to your best of ability, you know, to the best of your ability. I think that it's so easy to not do that and to just kind of half-ass things and call it good when really it's not actually good. You know, I guess the story I was thinking about earlier was the reason I even had the math homework example was because in middle school, high school, I used to go to my dad oftentimes for help with math because he's usually really good at math, and he would kind of it seemed like every time I would ask him for help, he would dive in so much deeper than I ever would have wanted, which, looking back on that, was actually a really cool thing, that he was even willing and able to dive in that deep and kind of go to war with this subject, you know. But to me, as a kid and as a teenager, I was always kind of like bothered by it. All I wanted was the correct answer and then just to move on. But that's not really the best way of doing things. I used to get so, I'm not mad, but I used to like check the time and I'd be checked out. I wouldn't be invested in doing my own homework, and he would start diving in the deep end and like learning, like really learning why things were the way they were, how he got there, or how you're supposed to get there. And he wanted to really learn this and teach me. He probably already knew most of it or all of it. But he walked into the situation knowing ahead of time that he was prepared for war and prepared to get this task done, and to really learn from it and grow from it. Whereas I had a different viewpoint back then. I was kind of thinking more about, I don't really care about the process. I don't really care how I got here. All I really wanted was the easy way. I just wanted the answer, and that was it. I didn't want to learn all this crap. I didn't want to dive off the deep end. Yeah, I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to have to tread water for too long. I just wanted to, you know, get a decent grade, get a good grade, see, and call it good there. That's just kind of the person that I was a little bit more. I think deep down that really wasn't necessarily true to who I am as a person. But at the time, though, that's all I was shooting for. And so anyway, the point there with that whole story, though, is that he just had the mindset. He had a different mindset. You know, he was more willing to just dive in. And I think that's awesome. You know, I think that we all need to enter certain situations with that kind of mindset. Because if you don't, you're probably not going to get very good results on whatever it is. It applies to like literally every area of your life. I mean, any single thing that you're doing can be done well or not well. You can either learn from things or not learn from things. And I think that if you have the mindset, you have the mentality of, I'm going to go to war and I'm going to accomplish this thing, and I'm going to learn from this and grow from this, then I think that you're going to come out a much stronger, better person, you know? And that takes, again, we're talking about a difficult task here. I'm going to move this. Thank you. Anyway, it's not an easy thing. That is, you're intentionally choosing the harder route, which is kind of the whole point, though, because when you do that, again, you come out a better, stronger person. I wrote my blog just this morning. I published it, basically talking a lot about that, and how often people they'll transmit their negative beliefs onto you, and they'll try to get you to pull you down with them, you know. And that happens so frequently. When you tell someone about your goals and your dreams and the things that you want to do in your life, it reminds them of the fact that they haven't actually, they bailed on their goals and dreams, that they've quit on themselves. It reminds them of that, and it kind of brings that back up, and then they get mad at you, and they get frustrated with you, and they try to pull you down also. And that happens a lot. That happens to me all the time, basically. Oh wow. Because it seems like people are just so critical and judgmental and condescending, but really I don't even think that they're meaning to do that. It's just that they don't really know how to handle what happened with themselves, with themselves. So I don't know. I guess that's really mainly it for today. I don't want to get cut off here, so I'll call it good there. I'll see you tomorrow. Roger out.